The Simple Path to Wealth, Your Roadmap to Financial Independence and a Rich, Free Life by J.L. Collins is an insightful and practical guide to achieving financial freedom and living the life you want. Whether you are just starting out on your financial journey or are looking for ways to improve your existing strategy, this book offers valuable insights and actionable advice that can help you achieve your financial goals. From the importance of low-cost index investing to the benefits of living below your means, this book covers a wide range of topics that are essential to building wealth and achieving financial independence. With real-life examples and practical tips, the author provides a roadmap that anyone can follow to achieve financial freedom and live a rich, free life. If you are looking for a practical and actionable guide to achieving financial independence, The Simple Path to Wealth is a must-read. So, click on the link in the pinned comment below and get your copy today. First lesson: investing in low-cost index funds is the best way to build wealth over the long term. The first key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that investing in low-cost index funds is the best way to build wealth over the long term. This means that instead of trying to pick individual stocks or invest in actively managed funds, you should invest in a broad-based index fund that tracks the performance of the overall stock market. One example of the power of low-cost index funds can be seen in the story of Jack Bogle, the founder of Vanguard and a pioneer in the world of index investing. Bogle was a strong believer in the idea that most actively managed funds fail to beat the market over the long term, and that investors would be better off simply investing in a low-cost index fund that tracks the performance of the overall market. Despite facing criticism and skepticism from many in the investment industry, Bogle persisted in his approach and eventually built Vanguard into one of the largest and most successful investment companies in the world. Today, millions of people around the world invest in Vanguard index funds and benefit from the low costs and strong returns that they offer. The lesson from Bogle's story is that simple, low-cost index investing can be a powerful tool for building wealth over the long term. By avoiding the high fees and poor performance of many actively managed funds, investors can benefit from the strong returns of the overall stock market and achieve their financial goals more quickly and easily. Second lesson: understanding and controlling your expenses is crucial to achieving financial independence. The second key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that understanding and controlling your expenses is crucial to achieving financial independence. This means that in order to build wealth and achieve financial freedom, you need to be mindful of how much money you are spending and make sure that you are living below your means. One example of the importance of controlling expenses can be seen in the story of John and Jane, a couple who were struggling to make ends meet despite both having good jobs and earning a decent income. Despite their high salaries, John and Jane found themselves constantly living paycheck to paycheck and struggling to save any money. After taking a closer look at their expenses, John and Jane realized that they were spending far more than they needed to on things like eating out, buying expensive clothes, and taking expensive vacations. By cutting back on these unnecessary expenses and focusing on living a more frugal lifestyle, John and Jane were able to save more money and make significant progress towards their financial goals. The lesson from John and Jane's story is that controlling expenses is a crucial part of achieving financial independence. By being mindful of your spending and focusing on living below your means, you can save more money and build wealth more quickly and easily. While it may require some sacrifices in the short term, the long-term benefits of financial freedom are well worth the effort. Third lesson: avoiding debt and living below your means is essential for financial success. The third key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that avoiding debt and living below your means is essential for financial success. This means that in order to achieve financial independence, you need to be mindful of the amount of debt you take on and make sure that you are not living beyond your means. One example of the dangers of debt can be seen in the story of Sarah, a recent college graduate who found herself drowning in student loan debt. Despite having a good job and a decent income, Sarah found herself struggling to make her monthly loan payments and living paycheck to paycheck. After taking a closer look at her finances, Sarah realized that she had taken on far more debt than she could afford and that her spending habits were contributing to the problem. By taking steps to reduce her debt and live a more frugal lifestyle, Sarah was able to get her finances back on track and start building wealth for the future. The lesson from Sarah's story is that avoiding debt and living below your means is essential for achieving financial independence. By being mindful of the amount of debt you take on and focusing on living within your means, you can avoid the stress and financial burden that comes with excessive debt and build a solid foundation for your financial future. Fourth lesson, investing early and consistently is more important than trying to time the market. The fourth key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that investing early and consistently is more important than trying to time the market. This means that instead of trying to predict when the market will go up or down, you should focus on investing regularly and holding your investments for the long term. One example of the power of investing early and consistently can be seen in the story of Tom, a young investor who started investing in low-cost index funds in his early 20s. Despite facing a few downturns in the market over the years, Tom continued to invest regularly and hold his investments for the long term. As a result of his consistent investing approach, Tom was able to build a substantial portfolio over the years and achieve financial independence at a relatively young age. By avoiding the temptation to try to time the market or chase after hot stocks, Tom was able to benefit from the strong returns of the overall market and achieve his financial goals more quickly and easily. The lesson from Tom's story is that investing early and consistently is more important than trying to time the market. By focusing on the long term and investing regularly, you can benefit from the power of compounding and achieve your financial goals more quickly and easily than you might expect. While there may be some short-term ups and downs in the market, the long-term trend is always upwards, and patient investors who stay the course can reap the rewards of their discipline and patience. Fifth lesson, having a clear understanding of your goals and values will help you make better financial decisions. The fifth key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that having a clear understanding of your goals and values will help you make better financial decisions. This means that in order to achieve financial independence, you need to have a clear sense of what you want to achieve and why it matters to you. One example of the importance of understanding your goals and values can be seen in the story of Maria, a young professional who was struggling to make progress towards her financial goals. Despite earning a good income and saving regularly, Maria found herself feeling unfulfilled and uncertain about her financial future. After taking some time to reflect on her goals and values, Maria realized that what she really wanted was to start her own business and have more control over her career and her life. With this newfound clarity, Maria was able to make some significant changes to her financial plan, including cutting back on unnecessary expenses, saving more aggressively, and taking steps towards starting her own business. The lesson from Maria's story is that having a clear understanding of your goals and values is essential for making good financial decisions. By taking the time to reflect on what matters most to you and why, you can make smarter choices about how to spend your money, invest your resources, and build a life that is aligned with your deepest values and aspirations. While this may require some soul-searching and self-reflection, the rewards of living a life that is true to your values are well worth the effort. Sixth lesson, avoiding high fees and actively managed funds can save you money and improve your investment returns. The sixth key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that avoiding high fees and actively managed funds can save you money and improve your investment returns. This means that instead of investing in funds with high fees and expenses, you should focus on low-cost index funds that offer strong returns at a low cost. One example of the impact of fees on investment returns can be seen in the story of Mark, an investor who was paying high fees for an actively managed mutual fund. Despite the fund's strong historical performance, Mark found that his returns were being eaten up by the high fees and expenses charged by the fund. After doing some research, Mark switched to a low-cost index fund that tracked the performance of the overall market. Despite some short-term ups and downs, Mark found that his investment returns improved significantly over the long term, thanks to the low fees and strong returns of the index fund. The lesson from Mark's story is that avoiding high fees and actively managed funds can save you money and improve your investment returns. By focusing on low-cost index funds that offer strong returns at a low cost, you can benefit from the power of compounding and achieve your financial goals more quickly and easily. While it may require some research and due diligence to find the right funds, the long-term benefits of low-cost investing are well worth the effort. Seventh lesson, building an emergency fund and protecting yourself with insurance can provide financial security. The seventh key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that building an emergency fund and protecting yourself with insurance can provide financial security. This means that in order to achieve financial independence, you need to be prepared for unexpected events that could impact your finances. One example of the importance of an emergency fund can be seen in the story of Lisa, a young professional who lost her job unexpectedly during a recession. Despite having a good income and savings, Lisa found herself struggling to make ends meet without a steady stream of income. Thanks to the emergency fund that she had built up over the years, Lisa was able to weather the storm and avoid going into debt or facing financial hardship. By having a cushion of savings that she could rely on during tough times, Lisa was able to maintain her financial stability and eventually find a new job that met her needs. The lesson from Lisa's story is that building an emergency fund and protecting yourself with insurance can provide financial security and peace of mind. By having a cushion of savings that you can rely on during tough times, you can avoid the stress and uncertainty that comes with unexpected events and maintain your financial stability over the long term. While it may require some sacrifice and discipline to build up an emergency fund, the long-term benefits of financial security are well worth the effort. Eighth lesson: investing in a mix of stocks and bonds can help you balance risk and return. The eighth key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that investing in a mix of stocks and bonds can help you balance risk and return. This means that instead of investing all of your money in stocks or all of your money in bonds, you should consider a mix of both that reflects your risk tolerance and financial goals. One example of the power of a balanced investment portfolio can be seen in the story of James, an investor who was heavily invested in stocks during the dot-com boom of the late 1990s. Despite seeing his portfolio soar in value during the boom years, James found himself facing significant losses when the bubble burst and the market crashed. After taking some time to reflect on his investment strategy, James realized that he had been too heavily invested in stocks and had not considered the benefits of a more balanced investment portfolio. With this newfound understanding, James shifted his investments to a mix of stocks and bonds that reflected his risk tolerance and financial goals. Over the long term, James found that his balanced investment portfolio provided him with strong returns and helped him weather the ups and downs of the market more easily. By balancing risk and return in his investment portfolio, James was able to achieve his financial goals more quickly and easily than he might have otherwise. The lesson from James's story is that investing in a mix of stocks and bonds can help you balance risk and return and achieve your financial goals more easily. By considering your risk tolerance and financial goals when building your investment portfolio, you can create a balanced approach that reflects your unique needs and preferences. While it may require some research and due diligence to find the right mix of investments, the long-term benefits of a balanced portfolio are well worth the effort. Ninth lesson: having a simple, low-cost investment strategy can help you avoid common mistakes and achieve your financial goals. The ninth key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that having a simple, low-cost investment strategy can help you avoid common mistakes and achieve your financial goals. This means that instead of trying to chase after hot stocks or complex investment strategies, you should focus on a simple, low-cost approach that is easy to understand and implement. One example of the power of a simple investment strategy can be seen in the story of David, an investor who was constantly trying to chase after hot stocks and invest in the latest trends. Despite his best efforts, David found that his investment returns were inconsistent and that he was making frequent mistakes in his investment decisions. After doing some research, David realized that he was overcomplicating his investment strategy and that he needed to simplify his approach in order to achieve his financial goals. With this newfound understanding, David shifted his investments to a simple, low-cost index fund that tracked the performance of the overall market. Over time, David found that his investment returns were more consistent and that he was making fewer mistakes in his investment decisions. By focusing on a simple, low-cost investment strategy, David was able to achieve his financial goals more quickly and easily than he might have otherwise. The lesson from David's story is that having a simple, low-cost investment strategy can help you avoid common mistakes and achieve your financial goals more easily. By focusing on a strategy that is easy to understand and implement, you can avoid the pitfalls of more complex investment approaches and benefit from the strong returns of the overall market. While it may require some discipline and patience to stick with a simple investment strategy, the long-term benefits are well worth the effort. 10th lesson: financial independence is attainable for anyone who is willing to make smart financial decisions and stick with them over the long term. The 10th and final key takeaway from The Simple Path to Wealth is that financial independence is attainable for anyone who is willing to make smart financial decisions and stick with them over the long term. This means that regardless of your income level or financial background, you can achieve financial freedom by making smart choices about how you spend, save, and invest your money. One example of the power of financial independence can be seen in the story of Rachel, a young professional who was able to achieve financial independence at a relatively young age. Despite earning a modest income, Rachel was able to build a solid investment portfolio over the years by investing regularly and living below her means. Thanks to her disciplined approach to personal finance, Rachel was able to retire early and live a life of financial freedom, pursuing her passions and interests without worrying about money. By making smart financial decisions and sticking with them over the long term, Rachel was able to achieve her financial goals and live a rich, free life. The lesson from Rachel's story is that financial independence is attainable for anyone who is willing to make smart financial decisions and stick with them over the long term. By focusing on low-cost investing, avoiding debt, and living below your means, you can build wealth over time and achieve your financial goals more quickly and easily than you might expect. While it may require some discipline and sacrifice in the short term, the long-term benefits of financial freedom are well worth the effort. In conclusion, The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins is an excellent resource for anyone who is looking to achieve financial independence and live a rich, free life. With practical advice and actionable insights, this book provides a roadmap that anyone can follow to build wealth, avoid common mistakes, and achieve their financial goals. So, if you are ready to take control of your finances and achieve financial freedom, click on the link in the pinned comment below and get your copy of The Simple Path to Wealth today. With the valuable insights and actionable advice provided in this book, you can begin your journey towards financial independence and start living the life you want.